Goddamn, I didn't think I talked so much, but.
Show me that don't need no money, don't need nobody, just need your body. Show me that soul sweet like honey, don't need no talking, just need your body. Your loving on me makes me.
Hello, everybody. I asked my social media for questions to answer, kind of like a little Q&A. Take a shot for every time I say I'm learning not to do that, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing my makeup while I answer these questions. I literally only got like 4 questions, but that's okay. I talk a lot and I have a lot of thoughts, so it should fill the time, hopefully. Almost said again. This is an everyday makeup tutorial. Honestly, don't wear makeup every single day. I wake up in the morning and decide if I want to wear makeup, or I don't have enough time to do my makeup in the morning. It's really kind of just based on my mood. And I don't do super like creative makeup or anything. Like, my excuse is kind of like I don't have tons of eyelid space, and I don't know, I just never really like got into makeup like that, I guess I would say. Whereas my sister, she's literally a freaking genius. Like, she's literally not even from this world. She does really, really good makeup. It's always really hard for me to make videos because I listen to music like probably 70% of my day. When I'm in the shower, I listen to music. When I'm getting ready, I listen to music. I also don't really watch TV that much. Sometimes I'll just put music on the TV or just lay down and listen to music on my headphones. And so it's really hard for me to not listen to music while I record. I guess I could play it on the TV like silently. Because I was just watching Survivor, and that is one show that I will watch over and over again. I don't know why in my head I just kind of thought like it'd be weird if you guys could hear music in the background, and it's honestly not even that deep. So this could low-key be like a music recommendation too. Music recommendation video, because I've literally found the best songs recently. I dyed my hair black and I honestly love it. So like I said, I'm not like a beauty guru whatsoever. Literally, I shop at the drugstore. It's so weird when I see people say drugstore in videos, because like where I live, people don't say drugstore. We just say like the store, or like Walmart or Target. And people are like, yeah, I got it from the drugstore. I'm like, are you talking about like CVS or like Walgreens? You buy your makeup from Walgreens and CVS? It's not a bad thing, but like, okay, I can't with the fucking headband. It's making me feel stupid. Anyways, if you do those things, no judgment here. Yeah, shit's expensive. I'll literally show you guys what I got from Sephora. I got the little Hydro Grip primer. It's literally a little mini size. And then I also got the Kat Von D eyeliner. It's also mini size. Other than that, I don't really wear like high-end makeup. Like I said, I don't even really do my makeup that much. It takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to do my makeup in the morning when I do wear makeup to work. And so right now, I'm just putting the primer on. And I just realized I wasted it. Well, I guess not wasted, but like I'm literally not doing anything today. It's like 4 p.m. and I was really bored. And I'm alone at home right now, so oh my god, I'm just gonna freaking wear this stupid thing. I really just hate how this makes my head look. It's not that bad, I'm just over dramatic. I always rewatch my own videos just because, I don't know, it gives me like a weird sort of comfort in a way. Like, I look so different than my first video. And I realized like, I don't know, it's just kind of fun switching up your look from time to time. I guess I'll show you guys kind of like the products that I use. I got a brush set like a long time ago, I think from, is it like HB Cosmetics? I can't remember, but I got a brush set that I still use. Mostly just like these two brushes mostly for my brows. And then I had another set from, oh, it's literally right here. It's from BH Cosmetics. I literally said Houseville Cosmetics, what? While I start doing my makeup, I'm gonna answer the first question. So the first question, what got you into art? So if you guys have like watched my first video, I kind of talk about like the goals I wanted for this channel. And initially it was because I dropped out of grad school, and I was saying I wanted to get back into doing art because I painted a lot in high school. I started painting like my sophomore year or my freshman year of high school, I think. I feel like it was my sophomore year because like freshman year I took like art 1, art 2, draw and design. Basically I took every like art class you could take besides like the exception of like metal work, and I even took wood shop, and that class gave me trauma, dude. Like our professor was so mean. He was literally so fucking mean. So I think it was like maybe second semester of my sophomore year, I took painting, and I was actually really excited because I had never painted before up until that point. Actually makes me kind of sad because like I don't think I just really miss it, honestly. And as an adult now, it's super hard to find time to do the things that you like. Basically, I've always been a pretty creative person. Even as like a little kid, I love to draw. My dad is a really good artist as well. And like, just kind of, me and all my siblings are pretty creative. And so when I started painting, I was like, this is awesome. I love this. And I mostly oil paint. I have done acrylic and like some watercolor, but the one I love the most is oil because it takes a while for it to dry. And so like you can go back in and like fix things without it like drying instantly like acrylic. And then like watercolor is probably my least favorite just because it's kind of hard to work in like the water element of it. My main thing I did was painting people. Like I love to paint people. My art teacher, I think his name was Mr. Harmon, but he like gave me a lot of confidence. I don't know, I just keep to myself. Like there's a point to where like, I don't know, I don't really go out of my way to meet people or like start conversations. And like I knew, oh my god, I didn't know anyone in that class, my painting class. And it's like my favorite part of the day when I had art because I could just go in there, didn't have to talk to anyone. I could just grab my artwork, put my headphones in, and literally have like the best hour of my life. He was like, one day, like, I'm gonna go into a museum and like see your artwork. And that was honestly just so sweet. And I still think about that sometimes. Ever since then, I kept painting like my junior and senior year. I ended up transferring to an entirely different school in a different state. And it was a very small school compared to my other school. My other school had like probably 2,000 kids there. This one had like 200 kids there. Like, I literally graduated with a class of like 20-ish kids. And once again, no, like I didn't try to make friends really. And when I would, it was such a small school, they just had art. Like, it was just called art. And I did that my junior and senior year. And I loved it. Best part of my day. I even went to state art. Here in Montana, they don't have state art, which I feel like they should. But the school I transferred to, the state had state art. And I sold my second painting there. And I sold my other, like my first painting, I sold at like, the town I lived in was super, super small. And there's literally probably like a bar and a restaurant and like a gas station and post office. Like that's probably it, besides like the school and stuff. But just very small town. But whoever wanted to hang up their art in the little coffee shop, they could. And we could like price it, and if it sold, then we got the money for it. I did this really awesome acrylic painting of a buffalo, and it sold for like 40 bucks because that's what I priced it as, like 40 bucks. So I was like, oh my god, I'm rich, like I'm making money off my artwork. Literally sells one painting. My second painting I sold at state art, and I wasn't even like intending on selling artwork, and like I think you could, but like we weren't there for that, you know. It's just kind of like a high school state thing. But this girl literally tracked me down. Well, like I remember I was just literally sitting like in the bleachers because we just had like a ton of free time, because like we could look at all the other kids' artwork, and then there was like judges walking around and things like that. And like I had already looked at everything, and so I was just like chilling in the seats or whatever, and had my headphones on, just in my own little world. And like some kids from my school were like, there's a girl looking for you, we've all been looking for you. And I was like, oh. Anyways, she bought my second painting. I think that was also an acrylic. I feel like I did a lot more oil when I was first starting to paint, and then I kind of started doing acrylic more too. But the one she bought is Mia Goth in Pulp Fiction, like the infant, like iconic scene where her nose is bleeding, and she is like, as soon as I saw it, like I knew I needed it. And I think I sold that for like 60 bucks. And it's always crazy trying to price your artwork, because you're like I know there's people who give tips and stuff out like that, but I obviously had no idea what I was doing. I was literally like a junior or senior in high school. And so I felt like 60 bucks was worth it. And I had no money on that trip. We literally had to like stay the night in a different city. And I was like, cool, this will be my money for anything that I need or anything I want to buy while we're here. I guess that doesn't really answer the question, like what got me into art. I think I've just always been a creative person, and then just like, I guess taking classes while in high school, like actually broadened my horizons and gave me different opportunities. I think maybe when I was a junior or senior, I got to go with this group, or like, it was called like Native Youth Art in Action. Just like here in Montana, there wasn't very many people that like applied for it. So like I got to go. We got to go to Butte for their folk festival in the summer. It was like a little week-long summer camp kind of, because we got to learn from like actual artists. We got to learn from Ben Pease, Robert Martinez, and John Pepion. And it was honestly like a really great experience. And we got to have our own little vendor table at the folk festival. And one of those sessions that Ben did, he kind of taught how to price your work. I think that was after I had already like sold those other paintings. Yeah, there's like a bunch of different variables to consider when like pricing your art. Okay, that's gonna kind of lead me into my next question. What was your major in college, and how did you decide on it? Also, this is the foundation I use. It's just the Infallible 32-hour fresh wear foundation, and it's really dry outside right now, so like it doesn't look super good on my face, but it's really good, especially if you use like the right powder. and I'm just using e.l.f. concealer. So I had some like really good experiences with art in high school, and I had no idea what I wanted to do after high school. It was just not really a conversation we had in my household. My mom got her 2-year in business admin, but like her experience going to college was very like different, because she went to college once we were all kids. Like I think my brother he had to have been at least like 4 or 5 years old, and then my oldest sister had to have been like 13 or 14 by then. And so she had like grown-ish kids, you know, and multiple kids. Not in a bad way, but so she was already like an adult, living life, and was going to school to kind of better herself for us, essentially. And versus going straight out of high school. Very different experiences. And I don't know if times had changed, but she was like, oh yeah, scholarships are easy. In my opinion, they're not easy, but they're super like beneficial, because that's like free money to go to school, you know, that you apply for. So if it takes you an hour to fill out a scholarship for $5,000, you're basically getting paid $5,000 for that hour. That's kind of like how I put it into perspective. But yeah, so like we didn't really talk about college in my home. And in my senior year, we had this life skills class. And essentially it was just kind of like a career class where we like thought about what we're gonna do after high school. And like most of the kids in my class already knew what they were gonna do. Like they're like, I'm gonna be a neurosurgeon and I'm going to this school. They already had it like all figured out. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I loved art. I knew I loved art, and I knew I loved helping people. I had no idea. Sometimes between this step, before I use powder, if I'm feeling very blush that day, I'll use this. It's like super old. It's literally just called Blush Stick, I think from ColourPop. But sometimes I'll put that under before I set my foundation, but I low-key forgot to do that. I know I love to help people. I knew I loved music and art. Oh yeah, in high school, I made music on SoundCloud. Mostly like rap, but I also really love to sing. And like that's another thing. Like my mom, just like growing up, we would just hear her singing. My mom was a really good singer, and I remember asking her one time what she wanted to be when she was a little girl, and she wanted to be an opera singer. And I think that's even like her Indian name. It's like Beautiful Bird Singer or something like that. So essentially like my family is very into music and art, I would say. I think in my life skills class, we had to like pick a career or like a certain field, and kind of like, I don't know, just to like get us starting to think about those types of things. I ended up picking graphic designer or like a music therapist. And essentially that's still kind of what I went to college for. My senior year of high school, I applied to the School of the Art Institute in Chicago, and I got accepted, which was awesome, but I never like actually, I knew deep down like it was expensive, and that was just not something that was realistic for me to do. And I honestly only applied to it to like show myself I could get accepted. And I only know of that school because of, is it Remember Me? Is that what it's called? With Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams, because she goes to that school and they live in Chicago, and I love Chicago because I love Kanye West, and he got a doctorate from there, like an honorary one. So not much thought put behind that. I basically told myself, like, you can go to art school and, okay. That headband literally just pulled like all my hair out. I struggled with like following my heart and becoming an artist and making a living off of that, and like my other interests and wanting to help people. And in my head, I was like, I'm gonna go to college and get a more practical degree. And then once I graduate, I'll get back into art while working whatever job I get from that practical degree. It was a backup plan, but I did my backup plan first so I'd have something to fall back on. And also, I never knew about like residency and like in-state tuition versus out-of-state and things like that. So like I said, I graduated from a different state and I applied to schools here in Montana, and I just didn't really think like I'd have to pay out-of-state tuition. Like I knew that little about college. Either way, it was going to be expensive for me to go to art school. It was going to be expensive for me to go to any school. Yeah, I knew about scholarships. I was a really good student in high school. I probably could have got a lot of scholarships, but there wasn't a ton of support. Like, I didn't have people guiding me, like people who actually care, you know? I applied to University of Montana in Missoula, and like me and my brother even went and did orientation, and then that's when they were like, yeah, do you have like financial aid set up? And like they showed me how much it was gonna be, and I was like, bruh, like there's no way I can afford this. I ended up not going to college right away after high school, and I took a gap year, which is crazy because I still graduated like on time technically, because at my high school I transferred to, like if you tested out of like 12th grade English and math, you automatically were put into dual enrollment. So you were getting college and high school credit automatically, like if you tested out of it. And so I had a lot of my generals done when I graduated high school. And there was some people, that's pretty cool that I had that done. Some people were graduating from high school and with their associates at the same time. Like, that was so crazy to me. But I'm still trying to answer this question. Basically, this question is answered now. Couldn't really afford going to art school or just regular college in general. And I graduated high school with quite a bit of general studies done. And I ended up getting shocked up, and my boyfriend's mom was like, you guys can't just like lay around, obviously, but like she really encouraged us, or she said we had to get a job or go to school. And so I ended up going to a tribal community college for like, I ended up wanting to become like an addiction counselor because like it is very needed on the reservation. And like my parents struggle with substance abuse, and so I wanted to help and like give back to the community. You know, my dream I had was to open up a treatment center or like counseling services on the res. Could have graduated with my 2-year, and then COVID happened, which was low-key like a blessing in disguise, because I honestly might have just stopped. Like after I got my associates, I might have just stopped going to school. But COVID happened, our school shut down, I transferred and moved, and I transferred to a 4-year school, and I was on track to graduate at that school. Is called psychiatric rehabilitation. I ended up adding a sociology major because I took intro to sociology at the tribal college, and I was like, I don't know, I really liked it. So when I transferred, I added on a major and a minor. So I ended up also minoring in Native American studies. That is what I went to school for, and kind of why I picked my major. I did what was best for me. I'm still in a field where I'm helping people, and like I love what I've been able to do with like getting a degree. If I knew what I knew now, I would have went to art school. And another thing behind like my reasoning not going to art school is like I'm paying a ton of money to get taught like basic skills, you know? In my head, I'm like, I could teach myself this. Why am I gonna go into debt for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Because that's how much that school was. I also wish I would have told myself there's other options for art school out there, but like, it's a very hard decision. If you guys are considering going to college, you don't know what you wanna go for, I am totally open to answering like questions. I also work at a university right now, so like I know a ton about like admissions, financial aid. I used to work as a recruiter, but now I work in like financial aid. So if you guys have any questions and you guys need like help with anything, need tips for just like college in general, hit me up because I'm more than happy to help you guys out with that. Honestly, applying for school and like getting in, doing the financial aid stuff, that's kind of like the hardest part. But also when you're in school, staying organized and like learning how you're gonna learn best is like key. And I don't know if I would say I'm like type A or B, but I was so organized. Like I used Google Calendar and like just Google Drive in general. I would love to teach you guys how to do that. Like I can even make a little tutorial video because it's super helpful if like that's kind of how your mind works. I still could have got my licensed addiction counseling license after I graduated, but at that point, like, I didn't really know if that's still what I wanted to do. I learned just a ton of skills in general going to college, and because I used to be a freaking weirdo in high school, still am, but like different kind of weirdo, and I was just like scared of everything. I literally almost failed public speaking because I sucked. Like I sucked at it so bad because I just like, oh my God, if you told me like I had to talk in front of people or just talk to people, I would literally like want to cry on the inside. Like hated it, absolutely hated it. And sometimes I would even have my, like try to beg my mom to come pick me up the day I had to do a speech because I just like really didn't want to do it. And like, I'm literally cringing thinking about it because I grew out of like that shyness and public speaking, I guess. And it's still hard to do, but not nearly as bad. Like I can do it now and I've done it. I do it for work too. So like going to college really did help me grow as a person. I did an internship my senior year for a suicide prevention group for Native kids. Like I've served on National Council of Urban Indian Health Youth Council, and I even have like some videos on YouTube here through that organization. We talk about like mental health and just like being a Native American living in like urban areas, like cities, and like going to predominantly white universities, things like that. And my senior year, I also did a research project on murdered and missing Indigenous women. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave a ton of like information in the description. This is just a very like heavy topic that it's hard to talk about and it's sad to talk about. It kind of hits home for me because I have family members who are victims of missing and murdered Indigenous people. It's somewhat of it's a movement now, and it's just a very complex issue in Indian country. I'm super grateful that I grew out of like being scared, like being so scared to just do anything, because I've gotten to go to Hawaii with like my tribal college for a STEM conference. I've gotten to go to Denver and Florida for Unity, which is United Native Indian Tribal Youth or something like that. And basically I'm a conference native. Like I love going to conferences and I love going to workshops and I love learning from other people. I've gotten to travel a lot and just like go to really cool like conferences and events, and like some people might think like those are a little bit performative, which I can agree to an extent, but I think it was really helpful for me growing up. Now, not so much, because I just see like all the politics behind it. And don't get me wrong, I'll still go to a conference if I get the chance to, if it's like aligned with what I'm doing in my life. But any opportunity you come across, like yeah, maybe don't be impulsive like me and just do every single thing, but like I'm so grateful to have been a part of NUCUI, which is the Urban Indian Council, and I also was part of Center for Native Youth's Remembering Our Sisters Fellowship, which I'll link the project that I did in the description, which that is a fellowship to build community and give young women or like femme identifying people a platform to spread awareness about MMIW. And I got to go to Sacramento and San Francisco, and I got to go to the White House Tribal Youth Forum in Washington, D.C., which is probably gonna no longer be a thing because of who we have in office now. But what I'm saying is, like, man, just fucking do it, man. Like, life is so short. What sucks is like later on in life realizing, having regrets basically, and like, oh, I wish I did that. Like, I wish I wasn't so scared, you know? Like, it can be hard, but you do the most growing when you're uncomfortable and when you're like taking on new chances and things like that, you know? Just fucking do it, dude. Like, don't be scared. That's literally like, oh, I wish I could explain it better, but like, I just think we all have like gifts and abilities and talents, and for some reason somewhere in our society, like, it's just hard to live off those things. And so like some of the thought I had behind getting like a practical degree was to be financially stable so I could fund what I love to do, which I'm still like working towards that. It's been quite a process, because I have applied to so many grad programs. Like, I've had to ask people for letters of recommendation. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm asking for another one, dude. Like, I just can't make up my mind. I found another program that's more aligned with like my goals and what I want to do, like, in these next chapters of my life. And it's a Master's of Fine Arts in Cultural Administration through Santa Fe Indian Art Institute. Really hoping I get accepted into that program because it's online. I can do it from here in Montana, and I think we go to Santa Fe like for a week in the summer. But other than that, it's like online. But oh god, I hope I get into it. I'm almost done with my makeup, but there's a couple questions that I didn't get to because goddamn, I didn't think I talked so much. But so essentially that's how I decided on my major. Like I said, it was really hard for me to decide what I'm gonna do after, but I think I finally found a program that I'm gonna go through with and hopefully complete, because I started this channel when I dropped out of grad school, when I was first trying to go to grad school for school counseling. And like, yes, that's in my heart, and I love like working with youth and like in higher ed, but it was just like really hard to do online. And like, I don't know, deep down in my heart, I was just kind of like, I don't know if this is the right program. Okay, almost last question is, how was your experience on campus with classes and all that? So I had a little bit of like a non-traditional college journey. Like, a lot of people go right outside of high school and they live on campus and like have the whole college experience and live in the dorms, and I never really got that. Like I said, I went to tribal college, but it was great. Honestly, I wouldn't change my college experience because I saved a lot of money. I got to go to school like within my state, which I think, depending on what your like plans are, is important to learn from people in your community. Because like, how are you gonna go far away and like be taught by people who don't even really know like what you're gonna bring back, or like who just don't really know your community and what your community needs? And yes, it's like always great to bring new ideas, but I think there's value in going to school in your home state if that's eventually where you're going to live, I guess, for the rest of your life. And like, maybe people don't know what they're gonna do like 20 years from now. But I found value going to tribal college and learning in a Native community from people who also live in the Native community and who just understand Montana tribes specifically. And so with classes, just to answer this question, like, I think going to tribal college, it set me up for success when I did transfer to a 4-year college. When I moved and started going to a 4-year, I didn't live on campus in the dorms. I've never got to live in the dorms. Like I was saying, like, I didn't really get the typical college experience, but I also think, like, make it your own, you know? Like I said earlier, like, go after opportunities that, like, you think are going to benefit you. Maybe living in the dorms is a good thing for you. Maybe it's not. Like, I think the college experience is whatever you want to make it and what you want for yourself. Don't, like, if it is what you want on TV, if that is what you want and, like, that's what's going to, like, make you be successful in school, by all means, like, have that college experience that you see in movies. But it doesn't have to be that way. And there's no right or wrong way. But just, like, whatever you want to make it. My classes at university, once I was past my gen eds and stuff like that, not gonna lie, they were pretty hard. And that's why I like am preaching so much about like being organized and just like staying focused and staying on track, because it's super easy to fall behind. And once you're behind, it kind of is a little bit discouraging because it's really hard to like catch up. And also like financial aid, I don't think people really think about like if you drop out or withdraw, you could be not eligible for financial aid anymore, or you might have to do like an appeal with their financial aid office. But like, just like things like that. So from this video, if there's specific things you want to know about higher ed, I might do like another Q&A or even drop it in the comments, and I can like try to answer as many questions that you guys have about all that, because I think like being informed is like the best thing. Because like I said earlier, I didn't go to college, or like I didn't have anyone to ask these questions, you know? So like I'm more than happy to be that for you guys and like set you guys up for success and like give you guys the tools to be your best selves and not waste time or money or resources on things. I guess that doesn't really answer the question. I realized I don't like online classes that much. If it's just online, like if I just had to go to school online, like no thank you. I like interacting with people and like having discussions, like in real life discussions, versus just like you're basically writing replies to each other like on the online. And like I didn't really like that as much. I almost failed stats because I took it online and I was just taking way too many credits that semester, but I did pass, thankfully. And you really, like, if you can do 12 credits, awesome. If not, do 9, do 6, do whatever it takes to, like, get it done. But, like, you don't want to put this big pressure on yourself and then, like, end up not passing, you know? And, like, life is hard anyways. Like, if you're just going to school and, like, that's all you're worrying about, and, like, even that could be hard. But, like, if you're an adult or, like, if you have kids and you're going to school, like, it should be a priority, but like it's understandable if it's hard. So like basically bite off what you can chew and don't pressure yourself. Like don't do that to yourself. Don't do that. My fucking phone died. Okay, the last question was, I'll put it right here, and from memory I'll try to answer it as best as I can. If light travels at like a certain speed or something, how come darkness gets there first? And thank you to whoever sent this message, because it had me thinking for like a really long time. Because I'm a freaking nerd, bro. I love questions like this. But long story short, darkness is just the absence of light. So PEMDAS, and you'll figure it out. Darkness is the preset, because without light, it's just darkness, if that makes sense. I think I answered all the questions though. I didn't think it would like, I thought I would like just be like boom, 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 boom and just like answer the questions, but no. Like I said, I guess I gotta talk a lot. So this was a get ready with me Q&A music recommendation. I didn't know when I was gonna make this video. I think I was waiting till like I was in a better mood or something, but joke's on me because doing the video itself made me in a better mood, so that's awesome. I know I didn't even show like the rest of my products. I was really bad at that, but I use CoverGirl Clean Invisible setting powder. For my bronzer and stuff, I literally just use this old James Charles palette. I also use it for my brows. I use this Wet n Wild contour palette to like bake. It's my sister's. I need to get my own because I keep using hers and I feel bad. And right now for highlight, I'm gonna use this cute Makeup Revolution palette I got for Christmas, and I kind of just use like the sparkly whichever sparkle I'm feeling that day. I'll use it just like on my nose right here and on like the bridge of my nose. And so this is kind of like the last step of my makeup. Yay, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and we should do this again soon. Don't wait for me to call you. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get some good tips and whatnot from this video, some good music recommendation. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
I got so high,